Hey everyone, Shabby Gamer here, and welcome to our next pay-per-view here for Octane in the SWE Universe mode. The talent has been locked, and they're ready to be... That's not even right, is it? What am I even talking about? We're in Birmingham, Alabama. What a great start! Well, that was a completely bogus introduction by me, wasn't it? But let's hope that the talent is going to help us out a bit as PJ Black challenges Cara for the Octane Cruiserweight Championship. And here we go. Yeah, I don't know what I was trying to do there. I felt in my head I had something really cool to say to start the video off. And then when the video started, it just sort of went, oh, hang on a minute, no, this is not right. It didn't go very well at all. Lillian Garcia there completely blending in with the ropes and the mats. Good old Lillian Garcia. And we're going to start things off with our first championship match of the evening. Of course, only 2 of the championships here this evening are being defended. The other 3 are all currently vacant. So by the end of tonight, we are 5 full-on champions here. And I must say in this opening match that I believe that the challenger here, PJ Black, the Darewolf, may very well be the favourite to walk away with the belt. That's a bit harsh on Sin Cara, who of course won the belt in a triple threat match at the SWE Evolution pay-per-view, defeating both Neville and Tajiri. Is that right? I think that's right. Which is a big surprise, really. I was not expecting that, to be honest. And now he has his first championship defense 3 weeks after that pay-per-view here against Mr. PJ Black. Lucha, lucha. So we are going to see quite a few matches here this evening. Of course, you would have seen them during the little opening highlight roll. Next up, we've got another Cruiserweight match for you next up. It's going to be Kalisto versus Xavier Woods versus Juventud Guerrero versus Tyler Breeze in a Fatal 4-Way, which is solely just for rankings. After that, we're going to have Time Splitters defending their tag team championships against the Revival. We've then got Carmella versus Sexy Star to become the first ever Octane Women's Champion. We've got a triple threat match between Cody Rhodes, Pete Dunne, and Eddie Guerrero. And then, of course, that 6-man Elimination Chamber match as well. And you've got Ric Flair, Kenny Omega, Daniel Bryan, The Rock, Edge, and Jinder Mahal. Of course, Jinder Mahal this time without the Sings to help him through. That's what it's for then, the Cruiserweight Championship. Not a bad belt, actually. I'm pretty happy with that one. As PJ Black takes on our current champion, Mr. Botchamania himself. There he is. Mr. Botchamania himself, Sin Cara. I don't know why sometimes it doesn't do the... Sometimes it doesn't do this. It doesn't do the little talking bit with the championship, and sometimes it does. But there you go, that's what it's for. Sin Cara holds the Cruiserweight Championship high. And he'll be defending that here in his first ever championship defense, Sin Cara. I'm surprised he got a belt in the universe mode, to be honest with you. I really thought that match, because of course he won the opportunity to face off against Neville, because he won a 30-man Royal Rumble, didn't he? That's the reason why he ended up in that position. And I think it was a cheeky one. It really was. But to go on and defeat Neville and Tajiri in a triple threat match when you're the lowest rated guy in that match was amazing for me for Sin Cara to actually pull that one off. But there you go. Sin Cara now standing over the fallen PJ Black and boots him in the gut as well. And Sin Cara having a pretty strong start here. Sin Cara now bringing Black up to his feet, takes him up into a vertical suplex. Sin Cara, big kick into the back of PJ Black. And a big kick in the gut as well. And up into a Hurricanrana. PJ Black not getting any offense here at all so far. He's just been absolutely demolished. Kick in the back of PJ Black now as well. Knee in the face by Black now. Springing Sin Cara off to the far ropes. Now finally PJ Black does get some aggression in. Of course PJ Black, formerly Justin Gabriel in the WWE, likes to utilise that 450 as a finisher manoeuvre from the top. Avoid Sin Cara's line salt attempt. And I do believe that, I don't know, I think I just feel like PJ Toby's Cruiserweight division is a little bit better than mine. He's got some of the more renowned high flyers. It depends what I do with it, I suppose. If I drop people like Eddie Guerrero into that championship picture, which I might very well do. I like the fact of Eddie Guerrero being part of the main event, though, and part of the mid-card. For me, Guerrero is wherever you want to put him, really. But I suppose guys like Pete Dunne, we've got the likes of, obviously, Jack Gallagher, who's fighting for the European Championship here this evening. I forgot to mention that earlier on, against Cesaro. We've also got, of course, Noam Dar, Mark Andrews as well. I really went for the... I went for the sort of... What's the best way of putting it? The British Cruiserweight style. Because we got the European Championship, I thought it would be pretty interesting to do that. But we've got Sin Cara, we've got Kalisto, and if Time Splitters lose the championships here this evening, then also Alex Shelley and Kushida are very competent singles competitors going for those belts as well. So that could be interesting. Sin Cara knee to the face of PJ Black and a stamping on the arm of PJ Black as well. And again, if you've not noticed already, if you have been checking the blogger pages, I've not been updating the rankings for the last week or two. That's because I am currently away. I'm away at this point in time when this video has been uploaded. I've been away for 2 weeks. I come home in a couple of days' time. And yeah, I will be able to update all of the rankings pages when I finally get back. But that's the reason why, is I'm currently away in a different country and I can't have any access to it. Which is not a major problem. It means that when we do get back, of course, we've got a lot to change on the rankings, but I think the episodes are still in line. Springboard frog splash there, by springboard frog splash crossbody by Justin Gabriel. Or PJ Black, sorry, PJ Black. Stop breaking the fourth wall and using the wrong names. Sin Cara now up to the top. Oh, lovely move then. Holds on. I thought he was going to hold on for the pin, but I think PJ Black just managed to slide free now. Sin Cara does drop into the pin once again. 2. It's only a 2 count. Now, we do have a slight problem with our main event here this evening, and that is going to be... And I hope it's not a problem for you guys. It really frustrates me the way that it does this, but apparently an Elimination Chamber match can only happen at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, which means that on this game, it will only take place inside the Elimination Chamber arena, which is a bit annoying, but it shouldn't make a huge amount of difference. It just means the ropes and the mat are going to look a bit different, which is a bit annoying, but I'm sure it won't be a problem. Surely it can't be too much of a problem, can it? Big right hand by Sin Cara now. Taking PJ Black up into an angle slam. Now Sin Cara heads up top. If Sin Cara can pull this off, I'd be stunned, you know. Senton bomb on PJ Black. I don't know why. The game seems to be set that everyone has to go for a kick before they go for a pin. Oh my god, Sin Cara's done it. I was not expecting that whatsoever. Oh my god, I was sure PJ Black was going to take the belt. There we go. Sin Cara, opening match of the evening, picks him another massive victory this time against PJ Black, and he retains his Cruiserweight Championship. Maybe Sin Cara's a little bit better. In fairness, he should be quite good, Sin Cara. He came with a lot of hype from Mexico, didn't he? Of course, that Sin Cara has left since, and this is now Hunico. But, yeah, he came with a lot of hype, and he's sort of proven himself here a bit. And PJ Black will not be happy with that, and neither will Tyson Kidd, of course. PJ Black defeated Tyson Kidd to get this opportunity, and PJ Black did not take the chance against a man who, you've got to say, on paper, PJ Black should be beaten easily. Based on stats, I think PJ Black's a good 10 points ahead of Sin Cara, but there you go. Your winner and still Cruiserweight Champion, Sin Cara. So here we go, we're going to continue on with the Cruiserweight theme. We've got Juventud, Guerrera, Kalisto, Xavier Woods, and Tyler Breeze. And here we go. I'm looking forward to this. A good chance of 4 guys who didn't really get a lot of opportunity in Season 1 of the Universe Mode to really show what they can do. Of course, Xavier Woods was only brought in during the Shabby Shake-Up. Kalisto was in there because he was part of a tag team, wasn't he? Didn't really do much. Juventud Guerrera was in the Universe Mode. He had a little bit of a run, actually. He had a tiny feud against Psychosis, which ended in a mask versus mask match, in which, of course, Juventud Guerrera lost, which is why he's now unmasked. And, of course, Tyler Breeze is brand new into Season 2. And I'm looking forward to using him a bit more. Of course, he is on my brand, Octane. And we saw Fandango put on a fantastic performance only a few days ago as he took on Alex Shelley one-on-one on Octane. And now it's time for Tyler Breeze to see if he can do the same sort of stuff here. And, of course, now we need to think about who's going to be our next challenger for Sin Cara's belt, and you'd think whoever wins here would have a very good opportunity at being pushed forward into that direction, especially because of the amount of ranking points this is worth. This is worth 40 points, isn't it? Yeah, it's a fatal 4-way out of pay-per-view. This is worth 40 points, the winner of this, so you would think whoever wins this will force themselves into that Cruiserweight Championship picture. So it could be a big day for one of these 4 guys. And could you imagine if Kalisto won and had to take on his tag team partner, Sin Cara? That'd be interesting. And we did do that towards the end of Octane, didn't we? We did Sin Cara versus Kalisto, sort of a devil's advocate style sort of thing. And the idea was that if Kalisto defeated Sin Cara, he would be added into that match as a triple threat. And in the end, Tajiri forced his way in by beating Neville. So it was a bit of a weird one, wasn't it, really? So yeah, Xavier Woods here, going to get a chance to go singles. I don't know if did we use Xavier Woods much? I don't think we used him a little bit. I think we used him a little bit during Octane in the previous season, didn't we? Because we did him and Kofi Kingston, didn't we, as a tag team, because those were the 2 cruiserweights. So at the moment now it sort of changes up a little bit. I think on Octane we can sort of mix and match the New Day as a tag team, and their ranking points will reflect that. I think if we put together any combination of the 3, that will be fine. And here comes Juventud, of course, now unmasked because of that feud against Psychosis. And he looks like he's actually feeling less pressured from it, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Looks like he feels a little bit more freed from his mask now, and maybe this could be a good thing for him. And maybe if he picks a victory here, he could be going off against Sin Cara. I like the... You know what? I think I was harsh on our Cruiserweight division earlier on. I think I was a bit harsh when I said that PJ Xavier's got a much better one. He has got the likes of Ricochet and Will Ospreay. But I think the problem with Ricochet and Will Ospreay is that they're going to have to be given opportunities a bit higher up the card, where we've got some really good dedicated Cruiserweights. And we all keep forgetting about Kushida. Now, if you've been watching New Japan this year, Kushida has put on a couple of incredible matches, including an incredible match only a few weeks back at Dominion against Takahashi for the 2nd time this year. It's a bit of a weird pay-per-view, that one, Dominion, because it literally was it was very similar to Wrestle Kingdom, wasn't it? The main event was Omega versus Okada. We had Naito versus Tanahashi for the Intercontinental Championship. We had Takahashi versus Kushida for the Junior Heavyweight Championship. There was a few other matches on there that were a bit different, like Gorillas of Destiny versus War Machine, Roppongi Vice versus the Bullet Club's Young Bucks and stuff like that. So there was a few differences, but the main three matches for the big three championships, I think were the same. And I don't know, I'm not going to talk about results and that, mainly because I haven't watched it yet. Like I said, I'm going away. I'm going away in a few days, but when you're watching this video, when it's uploaded, I would have been away for about 2 weeks. I'll be coming home in a couple of days. And I've actually match. Oh. Okay, now. Alright, I'm going to just shut a couple of things down in the background to make sure I'm hoping there's no problems with this. Seems to be running okay now. I think it's okay now. It's not running as smooth as it is on my PC, that's the worry. On my PlayStation. Is there anything else I can shut in the background that's really slowing the PC down? Ignore me, sorry, while I'm doing this sort of stuff. We look okay at the moment. I can shut Steam, but that's not really doing much, is it? There we go, we're now underway in this fatal four-way match. So yeah, I've got Dominion to watch. If you've not seen CageMatch.net, it's a really good thing to use. It's basically a wrestling database as such. You can go on there and it's got all the different companies, it's got all the different wrestlers, it shows you all the different events and that, but it also gives everything ratings, and it also puts the Meltzer rating into the shows as well. So I've looked at Dominion, I've not actually watched it yet, but I know it was rated a 9.68 out of 10, and Wrestle Kingdom was a 9.72 out of 10, so I think it's going to be a pretty damn good show, and I'm really looking forward to watching it actually on the plane. I've got a full load of wrestling I've got in there. Being taking a few of my DVDs and putting them onto my memory card so I can watch them on the plane. Like Hurricanrana there by Kalisto. Xavier Woods with the Saito suplex on Juventud Guerrera. Now it is Kalisto and Xavier Woods in the ring. Yeah, we'll have to do a few more cruiserweight matches in this month. We've done a couple, haven't we? Actually, if you look at it, I think I'm classing Fandango as a cruiserweight as well. But I think after we've got everything crowned, all of our champions crowned here this evening, we'll be able to be a bit more. I don't know what's happening with Tyler Breeze here. Can't seem to do much. We'll be able to have a bit more of a free month and be able to explore a few more options and avenues. Will somebody just attack Tyler Breeze, please? There we go. Breeze has figured out how to get in a ring now, and he's dropped his chair straight away. He's just got back in the ring, and Hoovy throws him back over. Oh my god. Xavier Woods just DDT'd Kalisto onto the ladder. Fisherman's suplex there by Hoovy as Kalisto now on that ladder. What has Woods got planned? Oh, I thought he was going to dive him on the ladder then, but he doesn't. Kalisto's up though on that ladder. Oh! Xavier Woods just jumps into a stroke on the ladder. Hoovy completely destroys himself with a missed lion salt. Kalisto rolls through Xavier Woods into that boot to the head. Kalisto now straight to his del Sol on Tyler Breeze. He could have this here. 1, 2. Oh, it's only a 2 count. My god, Kalisto did that perfectly well. Had everybody grounded and then just took out Tyler Breeze. Oh, Xavier Woods now just knocking Kalisto off the top, and Woods, instead of concentrating on Breeze, was in the ring, drops outside to follow up on Woods. Maybe not the best idea he's ever had. I was going to say he's got the brightest spark in the box, but he does have a PhD, so yeah, I can't really say anything bad about him, can you really? He's smarter than us lot. Unless anybody else out there has a PhD, I'm I don't know if you have or not. I'm not going to judge. It's possible, because I look at my demographics, and I don't know how this works or not, but looking at my demographics, it's amazing to see that the majority of the people that watch my channel are basically the same as me. They're males. Wow! Hoovy's won it! Hoovy's bloody won it! Yeah, saying the majority of people who watch my channel, and forgive me if you're not part of this, but according to my demographics, like 68% of my audience are males between the ages of 20 and 30, which is exactly what I am, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, Hoovy, Hurricanrana off the top, grabbing a hold of the legs of Tyler Breeze, and Xavier Woods was outside taunting at the time, and just as he turned around and noticed the pin, it was too late, and Juventud Guerrera picks up the victory here at Locked and Loaded, and that is going to quite possibly make him the #1 contender for the Cruiserweight Championship. That's going to give him 40 ranking points, so he's going to be pretty high up there, and I wouldn't be surprised if Hoovy is the next man to take on Sin Cara for that belt. And here we go, time for our next match of the evening. It is going to be the Octane Tag Team Championship match, when the Time Splitters will be defending their belts against the Revival. And here we go. Bit of tag team action. Now, I do apologise, I've just cut it in between these, the last match and this one, because I saw a couple of little issues that popped up on the recording screen. I'm hoping they didn't affect you guys too much. I think we might have had a slight dodgy moment when we had the, was it Tyler Breeze's entrance? Apart from that, I think it should be okay. So hopefully we're back on smooth time now. So the Revival, finally looking to get themselves some gold in this universe mode. Not seen any of it yet. Not really had much of an opportunity. I think they've had a couple of tag team matches, but never really able to take any of the opportunities they have been given. But tonight is their biggest opportunity. They've never had a chance at a tag team championship yet in SWE. And of course, after they defeated the Young Bucks last week, they are now here to face off against the Time Splitters. Of course, Time Splitters are the second ever tag team champions, I think, of Octane. Of course, the belt used to be the Cruiserweight Tag Team Championships, and the original champions were the Young Bucks. They lost the belts to the Time Splitters, who have had them now for quite some time, and the Revival looking to get a hold of some gold. And I wouldn't mind so much if they did, to be honest with you, because like I said earlier on, I would love to start using Kushida as a singles competitor as well, but there's no reason why I can't. But I don't really want to put Kushida into the Cruiserweight Championship picture if he's already a champion. I've discussed it I've discussed it before, my opinions on double champions in a universe mode. I'm not a big fan. I never have been. I probably never will be. But like I say, I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to force people not to have a double championship. We gave, of course, Kevin Owens an opportunity to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match over on Adrenaline a couple of weeks back. Although he is, of course, the Intercontinental Champion at the time. So it is possible, but I'm just not a fan of it. I don't know what's going to happen here, to be honest with you. So far, I've been wrong about both matches so far. I thought that that PJ Black would be the new Cruiserweight Champion, and I don't know why, but I had a feeling / a hope that the winner of the second match we just saw was going to be Tyler Breeze. There's just something about Tyler Breeze over the last couple of months. The whole him and Fandango thing on SmackDown just seems to have really come to the forefront and actually started to become quite a good, fun thing to see on each show. They're not just being used as jobbers anymore, they're being used as actual members of the roster, and I quite like that about them, and we will be giving Breeze Dango some more opportunities this month, I feel. But there are your tag team champions at this point in time. Kushida on the left, Alex Shelley there on the right. Your current Octane Tag Team Champions. Of course, those belts used to be the Cruiserweight Tag Team Championships. Of course, we rebranded them when we came into Season 2 of this universe mode. And as of next week, actually, all 4 brands would have all had one pay-per-view each then. We'll be actually in the swing of things then. And we are starting to do some big things now across the universe mode. You might have noticed, especially this week, some big things have happened. We've seen some strange things on Throwdown. We saw a weird attack last week on Adrenaline as well. So some interesting things are going to be happening now in this universe mode. And it's going to be pretty good. We've got some big plans moving forward. And now it's just time for these guys to show us what they can do and show us who deserves to be part of our plans moving forward. As Dash now stamping on the leg of Shelley, now slamming him face first into the mat as well. I do have some big plans for Octane as well, actually. I've not started any of my Octane plans yet, but I do have some big plans. Yeah, it's going to happen. It is going to happen. I'm just looking down the list now to see what we can do, who we have. And all that sort of stuff. I think Juventud getting that victory has really just saved him. Because he was somebody who I had potentially down as somebody who could leave this roster and be replaced by somebody else. But I think that victory that he just got there has really put my cards back on the table, really. But at the moment, you've got to say, the Revival dominating the opening period of this match. And of course, we've still got 4 more matches for you after this one. We've got Carmella versus Sexy Star to become the first ever Octane Women's Champion. We have got the triple threat match between Cody Rhodes, Pete Dunne and Eddie Guerrero. We've got Jack Gallagher versus Cesaro to become the first ever European Champion in SWE. And of course, our main event of the evening, the 6-man Elimination Chamber match to become the first ever Octane Champion. Kushida dropkick right to the face of Dash Wilder. Standing corkscrew moonsault, and all of a sudden Time Split is in firm control. Only a 1 count. Pretty early to go for the pin, but it does sort of just try and get under your opponent's skin a bit, really. Dash with the right hand into the gut. Kushida trying to fight back, but Dash catches him with the clothesline to the back of the head. And now Dash comes across and brings in Scott Dawson, who I always think on this game looks like he's wearing glasses, but there you go. Big sit-out spinebuster. Great move there. Now stamping on the arm of Kushida there as well. Dawson slamming the face of Kushida into the mat. There's the pin. Only a 1 count. Dawson taunting the crowd. Maybe a little bit premature for that. Bit of a risk. Wow, clotheslines Kushida to the outside. And of course, the Revival had a very good victory against the Young Bucks. It took 2 Shatter Machines to get there, but a very, very strong victory by them, actually. They seem to work really, really well as a tag team. Kushida gets control of the match back on the outside, throwing Scott Dawson back into the ring. Brings Dawson back up to his feet. Up on his shoulders. Into a backbreaker. Stamping on the arm of Dawson as well. And a big kick into the guts. Kushida now rolls through into an armbar. Kushida locking in that armbar. Surely Dawson won't tap this early onto the match. Surely not. It's possible though. Very possible. No. Dawson manages to roll his way through. Very MMA style, the way you just roll your way through there and just rain the punches down on your opponents. Dawson now sending Kushida into the corner. Takes him up. Kushida fighting back with a boot. Into a big elbow. Be interesting tonight as well if... and a Kimura lock now as well by Kushida. Again, working on that same arm. Referee is so out of position. It's unbelievable. Oh my god! He tapped out! Scott Dawson tapped out! Oh wow, Dash is not happy. Dash is not happy at all. But I don't know why Dash didn't come in and break it up, to be honest with you. Scott Dawson had just been locked in the armbar, then got locked into the Kimura lock as well, doing quite a lot of damage to the same arm, and he was really locked in there. And Kushida showing some fantastic, not only cruiserweight action, but some great MMA style and some submission action as well. There was the armbar. But then fighting Scott Dawson away, dropping him with that big clothesline. And then just rolling him into this Kimura lock, middle of the ring, grapevined him as well. And Dawson had no choice at that point in time but to tap out, and I'm surprised with that. I'm very surprised, and I'm sure that the Revival are going to be unhappy with their performance here this evening as well, but there you go. And before I get any comments, this is on medium momentum. All matches on a pay-per-view is on medium momentum, apart from the main event, which is always on slow momentum. That's always how I do it. It's just the way the cookie crumbles, and tonight the cookie has crumbled in the way of the Time Splitters, which means that both the people who have come into this pay-per-view as champions are both leaving as champions as well. Very interesting. Very interesting. Time Splitters doing very well. And that does mean they're going to get a nice little boost in the rankings as well. And here is our next match, and it is for the Octane Women's Championship. Who will be the first ever holder? Will it be Carmella or Sexy Star? And here we go. Now we've had a couple of, we've had quite a few very short matches here this evening, but I think as we go on here later on, I think the matches are going to get a bit longer and longer, aren't they? And this could be one that really is going to be an interesting one. Carmella and Sexy Star. Of course, Carmella never really had a lot of opportunities so far in this universe mode, but Sexy Star was the one and only, well, not one and only, but half of the one and only ever tag team women's champions. Of course, alongside Taya Valkyrie for the entirety of Season 1. Nobody was able to get by them at all. And now she's got a chance to hold some gold straight away. It's been weird for Sexy Star. She's not held gold in 3 weeks in SWE. And tonight is her chance to take some gold back around her waist. But Carmella, like I said, this is not very often for Carmella she'll ever get this sort of opportunity. So why not pull it out the bag and why not go for it? And this could be a massive night for Carmella. This could be the night that really puts Carmella more into a strong position for us. More into a position that we start to believe she's good enough to be in, rather than just being somebody who's there to make up the numbers in the roster. And unfortunately, that's the sort of role she's been playing recently. And of course, her opponent is Sexy Star. I've gone for the second attire of Sexy Star today. It's a bit more revealing, isn't it, I suppose? But rocking the Fandango entrance. Always the best entrance to go for. I quite like Sexy Star. I think this is a pretty good core, actually. I'm not quite sure about the mask going all the way down to the neck, because I'm not sure that Sexy does go with it. I don't think she actually wears it anymore, does she? She's on the indie scene now in America, of course, because they just offer a hell of a lot more money than what AAA does. And she's actually unmasked now as Sexy Dulcie Garcia. Yeah, so she's actually... you can find pictures. She's actually on Twitter. If you go for and search for her on Twitter, you'll be able to see loads of pictures of her unmasked as well. Isn't it cool that at Download Festival... Again, this is another reference to me recording this ahead of time. But isn't it cool that at Download Festival... we had Fozzy on stage at Download Festival when NXT were there. But actually in the tent where NXT were performing, Mark Andrews Jr. band played as well, which was pretty cool. So there you go, that's what it's for, the Octane Women's Championship. I'm not very good at making women's belts, as I think I figured out. But there you go. I think I'm much better at making men's belts, but we'll see. And here we go then. Sexy Star versus Carmella to become the first ever Octane Women's Champion. One of these ladies is going to make history. The other one is going to blend into the rest of the roster. It's a bit harsh, isn't it? So I just had someone's comment pop up in the bottom corner. I was just reading it, sorry. Sorry, I hate going silent, but I don't have the ability to stop. And I don't have the ability to not read it, if that makes any sense. When it pops up in the corner, I have to just read it. I don't know why. It just... Because I don't get me wrong, I do get quite a few comments on my videos, and I do thank you guys for that, because the interaction I've had over the last year or so, since 2K17 came out, I think the channel has grown a lot interaction-wise. We've not necessarily gained as many subscribers as I would like to, but I think more hardcore, consistent viewers, I think we've definitely gained, and thank you very much for the lot of you that are out there doing that. And yeah, I just get distracted every time a comment pops up. I just get distracted and just have to read it straight away. It's fine. Carmella now in control of this match. Of course, Carmella, to get into this match, defeated Lita, Rosemary, and Emma in a fatal 4-way, which I was not expecting, to be honest, at all. And Sexy Star to get in this match defeated Taya, Ruby Riott, and Brie Bella. So it's been a very interesting one. Oh, balls. I knew I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, it's been a very interesting few weeks in SWE. Especially for Octane in the women's division, because I just did not expect Carmella to make her way into this position, but she has done. I think we've actually got a really strong women's division here, with Sexy Star, Taya Valkyrie, Ruby Riott, Brie Bella, Lita, Carmella, Rosemary, Emma. Then we also have the likes of... What do we? Summer Rae as well. We've got Summer Rae. Summer Rae was the only person who didn't get in one of the fatal 4-ways, unfortunately for her. But we will give Summer Rae an opportunity to show what she can do. She did lose a triple threat match against... That's a weird thing. So, obviously, Carmella won the fatal 4-way in week 1. And in week 2, Carmella was in a dark match alongside Emma again and Summer Rae. And it was Emma who picked up the victory in that one. So, Carmella's not flush with momentum at the moment because of that. But we'll see how things pan on, I suppose, as we go along. But it is Carmella at the moment who's in charge, booting it right in the chest of Sexy Star. Brings her back up to her feet. And, of course, Carmella does have that submission hold she likes to use as well. Quite a lot of submissions now in this game. Gutbuster there by Sexy Star. Drops into the pin. 1, 2. Only a 2 count. Carmella kick it out. It's weird, isn't it? It seems to be like matches on weekly shows seem to be lasting a lot longer than we'd ever want them to. And matches on pay-per-view seem to be lasting less. It seems a bit odd. You know, it almost seems to me like a match will last longer if it's on fast momentum than it will if it's on slow momentum. And it just seems a bit weird, doesn't it? But it's almost how it seems. Bronco busted there by Carmella in the corner. Now lines up Sexy Star. If Carmella can win the championship here, this would be astounding. It really would. There she is with the complete shot. Now into that submission hold. Head scissors. Has Sexy Star locked in. She's in the middle of the ring as well. I wouldn't blame Sexy if she tapped here, but she might be able to break free. And she has. She's managed to roll it through. And Sexy has broken free from Carmella's submission hold. Now catches her straight away into the suplex. Again bringing Carmella back up to her feet. Sexy rolls her through. Kick to the side of the head. Carmella flops like a skipper. I don't know. I don't know why. It just came out. It just came out like that. There's the pin by Carmella. 1. Only a 1 count. Locks in the head scissors. There's the elbows to the head of Sexy Star as well. Carmella dragging Sexy into the middle of the ring. Now drops a leg drop. Then what's she got planned? Is she looking for another submission maybe? Or a drop kick to the back of the head. It's difficult when it comes to the back like that. You just can't see it coming. It just creeps up on you, doesn't it? Sexy now with the elbow in the gut of Carmella. Now catches her into the Salida del Sol. There's the pin. She gets to hold the legs. 1, 2. And Sexy's done it. Sexy out of nowhere. Carmella was in control. And Sexy Star out of nowhere catches Carmella with a Salida del Sol. And she is the first ever Octane Women's Champion. It does feel like these matches tonight are going very, very quickly. But I don't know. Are they? Well, we're 4 matches in and we're about 40. Well, probably not then. 4 matches in, about 40 odd minutes. They're probably not going too fast, are they, really? But I'm happy with that. I think Sexy Star as a women's champion here on Octane is perfect. I think that's exactly what we needed. No offense to Carmella, I just think that Sexy Star sort of encompasses what we're looking to do a bit better than what Carmella does. So Sexy Star gets added to the record as the first ever women's champion here on Octane. And look, Carmella was in control at the time. Got the pin there from the Dragon Screw. Only enough for a 2 count. Only enough for a 1 count, sorry. And then out of nowhere, Sexy just catches Carmella and rolls her through into the Salida del Sol. Grabs a hold of the legs, and it was enough to keep Carmella down for the 3. So Sexy Star gets a hold of the Octane Women's Championship. Still a pretty ugly belt. I think a lot of the women's belts ended up becoming very much the same because I just couldn't try and... I wanted something that looked good but also looked feminine. I just really struggled with it, but we can evolve the women's championships as we go along. And here we go with our next match of the evening. It is going to be a triple threat match between Cody Rhodes, Eddie Guerrero, and Pete Dunne. And here we go. This should be an interesting one, this. Worth a chunk of ranking points. Of course, it is a triple threat match at a pay-per-view, so it's worth 20 points for the winner of this one. The other 2 guys are going to be dropping 5. Now, of course, Guerrero and Pete Dunne are both lost matches so far this month, whereas Cody has won one. So at the moment, Cody's on 105 points already, whereas Guerrero and Pete Dunne are both on 95. So this is a big one for all these guys. The winner of this match will be higher than the other 2 in the rankings, of course, and it's a good thing. I'm still trying to consider what I'm going to do moving forward. I kind of like the idea of Eddie Guerrero being a main event star. I kind of like Eddie Guerrero being in the European Championship picture. I kind of like Eddie Guerrero being part of the Cruiserweight picture. I kind of like bringing in Chavo and having Eddie and Chavo as a tag team as well. We need more Eddie Guerreros, that's what we need. And that's what we're going to have to try and play out, is how we're going to use Guerrero. I think if he drops into the Cruiserweight picture, he might get stuck there. We have got a lot of big names in the main event picture, I suppose, but I would like to see the likes of Omega versus Eddie Guerrero. Daniel Bryan versus Eddie Guerrero be a bit of a dream match. We saw Edge versus Guerrero last week, didn't we? Christopher Daniels versus Guerrero. So there's a lot of different people. Then again, I suppose Christopher Daniels is the same. Would we use Christopher Daniels maybe in the Cruiserweight picture at some point? Would Christopher Daniels suit the upper mid card? Of course, to give him a chance in the main event as well. So it's really interesting how we're going to do this. Really interesting to see how we're just going to play this one off. There's a lot of different ways we could do it, and I think that's the best thing, really. The fact that there are a lot of different options. Then I think that's the best thing, because it means that nobody knows, not even I know how this is going to move forward. It's all down to who wins the matches and who wins and when. Whoever wins this match is going to get themselves a nice chunk of ranking points and going to be considered maybe in the upper mid-card position, maybe even the main event picture. The 2 losers drop down a bit and all of a sudden they're out of the picture for a little bit, and that's just the sort of way it works. That's the sort of wonder that is SWE. Cody Rhodes now, again, like I say, he won his first ever match. He was in the first ever Octane match in Season 2, defeating Diamond Dallas Page. And now here he is at the locked and loaded pay-per-view. I would have liked to have had a few more guys like Adam Cole and Cody Rhodes qualify for the Elimination Chamber, because the way that it works with the AI, they would have ended up fighting each other. I know they would have. So I sort of backed away and left it, but yeah, we'll see how things go. And here comes the 3rd and final member of this match, Pete Dunne. Now, where do you see Pete Dunne? Again, it's very much like the Eddie Guerrero situation. It can be Cruiserweight. Of course, he is the Bruiserweight, so European Champion, I think, is definitely a fantastic place for Pete Dunne to be. I think European Championship would suit him to the ground. And maybe even, I did say during the draft, granted I had quite a few drinks during the draft, but I did say that there was a good chance that I could potentially try and use Pete Dunne in the main event picture, and who knows? Who knows how things will move forward? And again, it's all down to how they react here. If Pete Dunne was to get a victory here, then he'd definitely be in that picture. Why wouldn't he be? And I like the idea. I like the idea of Pete Dunne versus Jack Gallagher for the European Championship. I like the idea of Pete Dunne versus Cesaro a little bit more, though, I must admit. I think that would be a nice combination of styles. And maybe I might do Pete Dunne versus Cesaro just during our next few weeks' worth of shows, just to try out the dynamic between the two. Eddie Guerrero tries to disappear to the outside, but Cody follows him out there and catches him with a Russian leg sweep on the outside. But then Pete Dunne is out there as well, and Pete Dunne is a brutal man. And there he is with that butterfly suplex, taking down Cody Rhodes, and then Eddie Guerrero dropping Pete Dunne flat on his face. And then a knee in the back of Dunne as well. Guerrero now sending Cody Rhodes towards the ring post, but Cody just managed to avoid it. The last member tripped over his own feet and went face first into the ground. Good Pete Dunne now, just backing away, allowing Eddie and Cody to do damage to themselves. He knows that that's the best way forward, but then Eddie catches him at the corner of his eye and runs along and catches him with that tornado head scissors takedown. And now Cody backing away. Drop kick to the back of Eddie Guerrero. Of course, this is a triple threat match. It means there are no countouts. There are no disqualifications. That's just how triple threat matches work, because if somebody gets counted out, then obviously you can't make two people the winner. So they don't ever count in triple threat matches, which is why a lot of people always take the piss out of wrestling. Especially TNA's done it a lot recently. Like I saw Bruce Pritchard on Botchamania. And I call him Bruce Pritchard then, didn't I? Pricktard. And he pretty accurate really. And he made a triple threat match on Impact, and he said, "It's not just going to be a triple threat match. It's going to be no disqualifications." Like, there are always no disqualifications. That's part of the rules of a triple threat match. Any basic wrestling fan knows that. But there you go. That's just how stupid TNA is at times. And the thing is, I've always tried to defend TNA wherever I can. Over the years, I've always watched TNA, and I've always tried to protect them. I've always tried to defend them. I've always tried to get other people to try and give them another opportunity, because I keep saying they're better than what they were. But no matter how many times I try, they have just completely just ruined it for everyone, really. And this whole thing, I thought Jeff Jarrett coming back was going to be a good thing, but all Jeff Jarrett's done is he's using the TNA TV time to put Global Force Wrestling on TV, basically. That's all he's doing. I'm seeing more Global Force Wrestling Championship matches than TNA Championship matches. Oh, German suplex by Pete Dunne on the outside on Eddie Guerrero. I can't wait to see Pete Dunne in WWE as more of a permanent fixture rather than just this UK thing. I'm not quite sure if it's going to happen, or whether he might end up being part of the UK TV show for a long period of time. Whether we might see him in NXT a bit more. I'm hoping we see him in NXT a bit more, because he's a brute. He's an absolute fantastic wrestler, and I want to see more of him. Right, everyone back in the ring now. Cody catching Pete Dunne, brings him across the ropes. Springs off, disaster kick right in the face of Pete Dunne. Guerrero now sending Cody into the corner. Guerrero heading back to Mexico with some lucha. Oh, nice arm breaker. Very nice arm breaker. Dunne now with a forearm to the back of Guerrero. Guerrero fighting back with the elbow. And a drop kick to the knee of Pete Dunne. There's the pin. 1, 2... And Guerrero's got it. What is up with tonight? I tell you. We've had some really weird endings to matches. Really weird endings to matches. So, he just won that of a drop kick to the knee of Pete Dunne. That's weird. It really is weird. I'm not quite sure what's going on here tonight, but Eddie Guerrero picks up the victory. That's what the game's given us. That's what we have to take. So, like I've always said, I will only ever re-record a match if it is due to a glitch or a really dodgy ending. And granted, that wasn't the best ending in the world, but you know what? The damage must have been done beforehand, and that drop kick to the knee just took Pete Dunne down. And Eddie Guerrero gets himself the points. He needed those points desperately. That puts him back up to about 115, I think, which is going to put him right up at the top level, really. And that could mean that Eddie Guerrero could be in the picture for the United States or the European Championship, should I say. And talking of the European Championship, we're now about to crown our first ever European Champion. Cesaro takes on Jack Gallagher. And here we go. Hope this match be a little bit more. I don't know. I don't know. I've been recording for over an hour now, so actually no, they're not. We've still got 2 matches left, so probably we're not too far off a normal pay-per-view, really. It just feels like some of these matches are ending a lot quicker than what they normally would. And that, the ending in the last, well, the Time Splitters match with the Kimura lock was a bit weird because of just, it seemed a bit weird because the tag team partners didn't come in and try and break up or anything. And then the previous match with that just drop kick to the knee of Pete Dunne was a bit of an odd finish as well. So I'm got my big hopes here tonight, though. Who left the WWE logo in the background? That's awful. Someone in production's getting sacked for that, I tell you. Someone in production is getting sacked for that. Cesaro makes his way down to the ring. Of course, Cesaro made his way into this match when he won a triple threat against Noam Dar and Mark Andrews, who did get injured a couple of weeks ago at Download Festival. Hopefully he's doing better now. I've not seen much else of him. Like I said, I'm currently away, so I'm completely away from all the news and that anyway, but I hope he is doing better. He looked like he was in a pretty bad condition when he did get injured. He was stretchered away, so yeah, hopefully hopefully he's feeling a bit better now. And of course, Jack Gallagher, which I can't believe myself still. Jack Gallagher got into this match when he sorry, just listen to the music. Yeah, Jack Gallagher got into this match when he won a triple threat against Pete Dunne and Sheamus. So nobody really expected Jack Gallagher to get into this match alone. And I would have to say that Cesaro will be the favourite for this one, but you just never know, do you? And if Jack Gallagher could become the first ever European champion. Oh, I lost my voice there. First ever European champion in SWE. My God. My God. It would be amazing. No offense to anybody else, but I would love to see Jack Gallagher here. I would love to see Jack Gallagher as the European champion. Everyone loves a massive underdog story, and this is your underdog right here. And that's what it's for. The European Championship here on Octane. The Japanese referee holds the belt high. And we are ready to get underway. Jack Gallagher versus Cesaro has become the first ever European champion here on Octane. Based on that German suplex, it looks like it could go one way. But you never know, do you? Stranger things have happened in this game. They really, really have. Yeah, but based on the start, it's not looking that way, is it? Cesaro in firm control. Now dropping a boot right in the back of the arm of Jack Gallagher. Dragged him into the ring. And this is what I wanted. I wanted our first ever European champion to be European. And of course you've got Jack Gallagher from England. You've got Cesaro from Switzerland. It is exactly what we planned for. Of course, it was always going to be two Europeans because that's the only people we put in with a possibility of getting in here. But we're not going to, after tonight, it's not going to be that way. We are going to have anybody and everybody allowed in this European picture. And like I said earlier on, you've got the likes of Cody. You've got the likes of Eddie Guerrero. We saw them win the last match as well, of course. There's quite a lot. Christopher Daniels, Edge. Of course, Edge is in our main event here this evening and could be the first Octane champion. Rick Rude would be a nice shout, actually, as well, wouldn't he? Even Sheamus getting a shout at maybe his tag team partner, Cesaro. We did draft Cesaro and Sheamus as a tag team. We've not really used them as a tag team as yet, though. But maybe it depends on what happens here tonight. It really does depend on what happens here tonight. I don't necessarily know if I need Sheamus and Cesaro together as a tag team. It's sort of nice to have them there, but we do have quite a few strong tag teams here on Octane already. We've got the Time Splitters, we've got Revival, we've got the Young Bucks, we've got the Singh Brothers, we've got the New Day, we've got the Vaudevillains as well. So we do have a few people we could put together. Of course, Gallagher is probably the only person in Octane so far to win 2 matches. Of course, he won his triple threat match to make it here. Then he also won a 6-man tag dark match this week, on Octane, alongside the Vaudevillains in a 6-man tag against the Dream Team and Ricky Steamboat. Referee very slow down there, which means Jack Gallagher only gets a 1 count. And now Gallagher all of a sudden in control. And now here you see Gallagher just contorting the body of Sheamus and stamping on the arm. Gallagher now in firm control of this one. And again, still working on the arm. If Gallagher can lock in an arm submission here, this could be pretty damn good. There's a pin. It's only enough for a 2 count. And again, Gallagher just dragging Cesaro into the middle of the ring now. Stamping on the gut and now lined him up for a big kick in the chest as well. Cesaro finally getting back into this one. Just booting Jack Gallagher away, but taunting the crowd. Remember, he should be continuing his assault. He didn't, that's the problem. And now Gallagher catching Cesaro. And looking for the spinning toe holds, of course, reminiscent of PJ Tovey's hardcore icon that is Terry Funk over on Mayhem. And now working on the legs. Jack Gallagher really giving us a school of wrestling here. A real technical mastermind. But Cesaro does have the brute force. Running drop kick as well by Jack Gallagher. That's his finisher, isn't it? There's the pin. 1, 2. Oh, it's only a 2. Gallagher brings Cesaro back up to his feet, sends him into the corner. What is Gallagher to do here? There's the dropkick in the corner. That is his finisher maneuver. The running dropkick in the corner. Pin Cesaro. 1, 2. He's done it! He's done it! Jack Gallagher's done it! Oh my word! Jack Gallagher's the European champion! Oh wow! You know what? When I put this together, I did not expect this. I have put the rankings to where they should be. That they're not at this point in time. Again, like I said earlier on with the PJ Black Sin Cara match, these two guys are quite a chunk, about an 8-10 point stat difference between them. Of course, Cesaro is up in the upper mid card, whereas Jack Gallagher's obviously in the mid card, but a bit lower down, more a cruiserweight. But Jack Gallagher is your European champion. This is his finisher, of course, the running drop kick into the corner. And there was the pin. Of course, it is quite close to the ropes, but because of just optimization reasons for this game, we did not use rope breaks at this point in time. And Jack Gallagher is the first ever Octane European champion. I'm as surprised as you guys, I really am. But I love it. I'm so happy right now. And there we go. Just drink it in, man. And now it is time for the moment you have all been waiting for. The Octane Championship Elimination Chamber match. Jinder Mahal, Daniel Bryan, Ric Flair, Kenny Omega, The Rock, and Edge. They're going to be locked and loaded inside the chamber. And here we go. Now, of course, there are no entrances in this. Now, it's going to be The Rock and Ric Flair to start things off. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? So, yeah, The Rock and Ric Flair are going to start things off here this evening inside this Elimination Chamber. Of course, the winner of this chamber match will become the first ever Octane champion. And, of course, if that man is Kenny Omega, then he has the chance to become the first ever man to hold 2 major championships inside SWE. Of course, the former Throwdown champion now has the chance to become the first ever Octane champion as well. Of course, I'm just annoyed the way that he has to change the arena. Change the... all he's got to do is leave the ropes, the mat, and the pads the same. I don't understand why it has to change it for. It's weird, isn't it? It's the same as if you want to use a Rumble match. If you want to use all I want to use is the Rumble rules in the Universe mode. But you then end up with having to use the full Rumble Arena. Okay, I've just done something really wrong on my computer there. Something really wrong. Right. As Kenny Omega is now in the ring. And this just goes to prove that the numbering system doesn't work on this game. So Jinder Mahal, Edge and Daniel Bryan all have a massive advantage here because they're all still inside their pods. And they know everyone else is weakening each other before they get in, which is a real good advantage for them. Of course, Jinder Mahal probably shouldn't be here. He's only really here because of the help of the Singh brothers, who cannot help him, of course, inside the chamber here. And in comes entrant number 4 into match. It is going to be Jinder Mahal. Of course, the... I don't want to say the current, because I don't know if he might have lost it by now. Like I say, I'm recording this a couple of weeks ahead, and I know the Money in the Bank ladder match, actually, the Money in the Bank pay-per-view takes place while I'm away, I think. So, yeah, it could be different by the time I've come back. But at the time I'm recording this, the current SmackDown Live World Heavyweight Champion, and Ric Flair straight away just spinning toe holds to him. And Rock versus Kenny Omega. What a match that is. What a matchup that is. And now you see Ric Flair continues to do more damage to the legs of Jinder Mahal. And both Edge and Daniel Bryan in a very good position here. Like I said, both guys are still inside their pods. And in comes Edge. I mean, Daniel Bryan is going to get the biggest advantage. He is going to be the 6th entrant into this match. Of course, this is elimination, so pinfalls and submissions, of course, no disqualifications, no count-outs. You can't really go very far anyway, can you? And the last man alive, or I say alive, the last man standing wins. I think alive is a bit of a strong word, I suppose, isn't it? And it's going to be a very good night here for Daniel Bryan by the looks of it, because everyone's taken quite a bit of damage already. The only disadvantage Daniel Bryan is going to have is where everyone else is going to start to build up finisher... What a dropkick that was. Where everyone else is starting to build up finisher maneuvers, Daniel Bryan's going to be on a blank canvas, but I don't think he's going to mind too much about that. Jinder Mahal is going up top. Not very often Jinder goes up high. And he's pointing straight at Edge, but Ric Flair, I think, got in the way. And now here comes Daniel Bryan. Good old Bryan Danielson entering the ring. And all 6 men are now in play. So Bryan does have the slight advantage. He is a bit more well rested. Everyone else has exerted quite a bit of energy and taken a few big moves here and there. Nothing massive has happened so far, though. Bryan dropkick into the back of the Rock. I'm sorry I keep going quiet every now and again. It's just so difficult to keep track of everything here and commentating all because there's so much action going on at the same time. Daniel Bryan now dropkick to the face of the Rock on the corner as Ric Flair locking in a single leg Boston Crab on Kenny Omega. Who's going to be the first man eliminated from this Elimination Chamber? And it could have nearly the Rock there, because he stayed down for a 2 count. Edge with the complete shot there, the flatliner, that's what it's called, flatliner. Daniel Bryan now turning the head of the Rock as Ric Flair gets caught with the reverse Hurricanrana by Kenny Omega. Now Omega bringing Flair back up to his feet into a gut-wrench suplex. And Jinder Mahal now taking Edge up into a vertical suplex as Daniel Bryan throwing the Rock into the corner. Taking Rock up high. The Rock fighting back. What does the Rock have from this height? A double axe handle. Oh, deadlift German suplex by Omega on Ric Flair. The Octane Universe crowd here really getting behind the Rock, as you can hear, chanting the Rock's name. Edge locking Jinder Mahal into the Tree of Woe. Rock now reverse suplex on Daniel Bryan. It's Kenny Omega. Where is he up to? Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega's... I think he's trying to get to the top rope, but it didn't really work out that way, did it? And again, trying to get to the top rope, but just can't get past Jinder Mahal. Come on, give Omega a break. Now Edge is on the way to the top instead. And Daniel Bryan's trying to get up to the top rope as well. I see a little bit of a bug with this game mode. People keep trying to go up to the top rope from the outside. And it's not what... See, Daniel Bryan again here. What are you doing, Daniel? It's a bit of a weird one. There you go. Now Daniel Bryan's made his way up to the top. Jinder Mahal pinning Edge. It's only there for a 1 count as The Rock bringing Daniel Bryan down the hard way from the top rope. Ric Flair dropping a knee into the face of Kenny Omega. Rock now into a DDT on Daniel Bryan. Jinder Mahal with a knee. And now The Rock rolling Daniel Bryan through into a sharpshooter. Will Daniel Bryan be the first man eliminated and the last man entered? Omega went for a super kick there, but no, Daniel Bryan does break free from the sharpshooter. Edge now has Jinder Mahal on the top. Draping him into that DDT. I don't think anyone's really gone for a finisher maneuver yet. I've not seen anyone go for the finisher maneuver yet anyway. Daniel Bryan now looking for a superplex. Oh, super Falcon Arrow. Jinder now with a pin on Edge. Referee now, there's a pin. 1, 2, only a 2 count. Daniel Bryan pinning The Rock as well. Ref sees it now. 1, 2, only a 2. And Ric Flair has Kenny Omega locked in the figure 4 leg lock. Will Kenny Omega tap out? Jinder Mahal with the elbows off the top, and Omega still locked in this figure 4. And he looks like he's going to manage to roll it through. He does roll it through. That, of course, reverses the pressure of a figure 4 leg lock. Edge sending Jinder Mahal to the outside. Got a bit more space in the ring now. Flair following Kenny Omega into the corner. Dropping a few double axe handles in the back as Edge goes to the pin on Jinder Mahal. And Jinder Mahal is eliminated from the match. Not quite sure. I didn't see what it was that eliminated him. Rock now the pin on Daniel Bryan. Only there for a 1 count. Yeah, the Edge using execution there on the outside. I was too busy watching the Kenny Omega and Ric Flair fight, I must admit. Omega now taking Flair up on his shoulders. Brings him through. One-winged angel on Ric Flair. 1, 2, and 3. Ric Flair's got as well. 2 men out. We are down to our final 4. Kenny Omega now catching Daniel Bryan. So we now know our first ever Octane champion is going to be Edge, The Rock, Kenny Omega, or Daniel Bryan. There's the spear by Edge on The Rock. There's the pin. 1, 2, and oh, it's only a 2 count. The Rock kicks out. We had a quick flurry of eliminations there. I thought The Rock was going to be the 3rd man to be in that flurry. Omega trying to take advantage of Edge in the corner, but Edge catches him. Now takes Omega up on the shoulder, but Omega fights free into a reverse DDT. Do you remember the match between Daniel Bryan and The Rock? It was incredible, wasn't it? The Royal Rumble. Was that the match I'm thinking of? I think so. It was a really good match. No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking the wrong one. I'm thinking The Rock versus CM Punk was at Royal Rumble, wasn't it? And the same Royal Rumble was Daniel Bryan versus Bray Wyatt, which is a very good match as well, actually. It was a really good pay-per-view, that was. Apart from the fact of John Cena winning the Rumble and obviously going on to do Cena versus The Rock again. It was a pretty decent way to do it all, I suppose, but at the time, nobody really wanted to see John Cena win the Rumble. We'd seen it 100 times, haven't we? Edge with the pin on Omega. 1, 2... and Omega's gone. Omega's gone as well. We're not going to see Omega become the 2-time champion. It's Edge, The Rock, and Daniel Bryan. None of these goals... oh, sorry, no. Daniel Bryan has held gold before. And of course, he's the former television champion on Mayhem. And he's got a chance here to step up and get a main event championship. And, oh, there we go. Lock it in. The LeBell lock on The Rock straight away. Out of nowhere. And The Rock taps. It's Daniel Bryan and Edge to become the first ever Octane champion. Daniel Bryan now catching Edge straight away into an aeroplane spin. Bizarre. See, the whole commentary team's left. They're like, nah, we're getting out of here. Edge now with a shoulder block. There's the pin. 1, 2, and Daniel Bryan kicks out as well. Who is going to be our first ever Octane champion here in the SWE Universe mode? We saw Jinder Mahal eliminated first. Then Ric Flair. Then Kenny Omega. And then The Rock. And now we're down to our final two, Edge and Daniel Bryan. Of course, Daniel Bryan got here by defeating No, he didn't. He got here by beating Del Rio. And Edge got here by defeating Eddie Guerrero. Edge now sending Daniel Bryan back into the ring. There's the pin. Edge is in firm control of this match at the moment. But Daniel Bryan once again kicking out. We know what Daniel Bryan is like. The ultimate underdog. We've already seen one ultimate underdog this evening in Jack Gallagher. Can Daniel Bryan be another? Bryan fighting back with the right hand in the gut of Edge. Now sending Edge into the corner. Edge catching Bryan into a backbreaker. And we know Bryan's obviously had problems with his back and his neck over the years. Edge bringing Bryan back up. Bryan misses the clothesline. Edge brings him down. 2. And oh. No, Edge could not quite creep Daniel Bryan down. Creep him? Could not quite keep Daniel Bryan down. Stamping on the face of Bryan once again. Edge, big knee to the face of Bryan. Now in the corner. We know how this normally ends. Spear. Spear by Edge into the pin. 1, 2, and 3. And your first ever Octane champion is going to be Edge. And that sort of just... I hope you're watching this, PJ Toby. That justifies me picking Edge so early on in the draft. And I know you laughed when I picked Edge and Christian. But I had my mind. I had my idea of Edge becoming in this main event picture. And it seemed to have worked really well here this evening. Edge, the first ever Octane champion. This is how he did it. Let's see if we can find out how he eliminated Jinder Mahal, though. Because that's an interesting one. I want to find out when that happened or how that happened. But I know what the replays are like. It's just going to skip forward now, isn't it? Well, this is... Was this when Jinder had already gone? That was the sharpshooter. Yeah, it's just skipped for the entire match. And there was a spear at the end anyway. I wish it would just show you the eliminations. That just makes sense in Elimination Chamber, doesn't it? But there you go. And there we go. There was the free count. And Edge is your first ever Octane champion. It was a hell of a match for him. Took a lot of him. Daniel Bryan, as you can see, is having a spasm on the far side. He's really having some problems. Doctors might need to have a look at him. What is going on? And Edge is your champion. First time Edge has held gold in this universe mode, actually. And Daniel Bryan is still having some big problems over there. A pretty aggressive spasm. So guys, that is the end of this episode of the SWE Universe mode, and of course the end of our SWE Octane Locked and Loaded pay-per-view. I hope you have enjoyed it. Of course, if you have, then please do hit that like button. It does really help me out. And of course, if you are new around here and you would like to see some more, then please hit that subscribe button as well. I've been Shabby Gamer. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you very, very soon for our next episode of SWE Mayhem. Bye.